Ian Margall is joining us live from Fort Stewart with the very latest out there. Ian?
Yeah, Ben and Tina, they've been working hard all night. They really just wrapped up at about 9 o'clock, about a little over an hour ago. They took everything down and they're really going to start again early tomorrow morning. I'm going to give you a look here behind me at one of these houses, a couple of these houses here, at just how bad this is in this area. I don't know if you can see very well, it's a little bit dark, but there's actually pieces of this roof and this house just scattered all over this yard here. There's a giant tree completely uprooted. I mean, that's got to be, you know, a 50-year-old at least tree, just absolutely uprooted, completely demolished. They believe that this tornado went about 2 to 3 miles on base. They're not sure how far off base that it went, but they believe it was about 2 to 3 miles on base. Serious damage to homes, power lines. It snapped some major power lines, so very significant part of the base has no power here tonight. This is actually the house that they were in when what she's talking about there. I just spoke with the public affairs officer here. He told me the last thing he saw before he ran into that bathroom, he watched his roof rip off of the top of the house. Now, I spoke with a colonel earlier today. He said they expect this to take at least 2 to 3 days to clean all of this up, but somehow no one was hurt, which is truly incredible when you consider things like this are all over this base.
Morning, Ian. Yes, I am still here on Scott and Skidaway. It is still blocked off here, but the scene is starting to clear out. Now, we did speak to the public information officer on scene, so we now do have some confirmed information for you. They tell us that around 3:30 a.m., officers were responding to a shots fired call on Howard, Foss, and Jasmine. Then two vehicles were firing at each other, a Toyota and an Infiniti. Now, by 4 o'clock, that's when a white Toyota hit a marked police van, and that is what led to the pursuit. Now, the pursuit itself was on Skidaway Road. Now, during the pursuit, that is when the officer's car took a crash, and that is what the neighbors were hearing earlier today. Now, right now, the officer is at Candler Hospital, but he is said to have non-life-threatening injuries. Now, right now, the driver of the white Toyota is still said to be on the loose, so police are still continuing their investigation. But again, the officer is expected to be okay.
They were there for us through our struggles, and I know they're still there for us today. Like, I feel them there.
It was standing room only under the Gold Dome in Atlanta as legislators from across the state honored the 5 Georgia Southern nursing students killed in a car accident in April of 2015.
Emily, Morgan, Abby, Caitlin, and McKay were all pursuing their dreams of becoming a nurse, so that they may one day be in a position to see to the needs of others.
It's just been hard because you walk those halls with them every day. You sat and you ate lunch with them every day, and now you're thrown back into it without them. It's sort of like your comfort blanket is gone in a way.
I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of
Healthcare professionals know the fragility of life. They know, because they've worked in the emergency rooms, they know in the blink of the eye that life can vanish right before you. And that's why we take it so seriously. And that's why we're also so compassionate. And that's what we shared with your daughters.
Even Governor Nathan Deal was nearly in tears as he spoke to the families.
I know this is a difficult time for each of you, as it is for us. To lose 5 young, promising ladies who had devoted their lives and their future to the profession of nursing is indeed a tragedy.
Despite the sadness surrounding the accident, this memorial was definitely not a sullen one.
As hard as it was uplifting. It's always uplifting when you have support of other families here, but to see the support from the entire state was very uplifting.
I think it was some type of closure, or getting down to the closure of a very long event.
The legislators here at the Capitol honored those 5 young women with memorial gifts to their families. But the 2 women who survived, Megan and Brittany, they were celebrated as well. In Atlanta, Ian Margall, WSAV News 3. Life living under a bridge isn't easy, but for many members of the homeless camp under the Truman Parkway, it's the only option.
You know, a lot of people have a misconception about the homeless. Not all of us are druggies or alcoholics. We just hit hard times.
Cynthia, or Mom as they call her, has lived in the camp on and off for 2 years. She cooks most of the food, she's in charge of their extra supplies, and she even assigns chores. But she says when they put the trash on the side of the road, the city just doesn't pick it up.
We put it out there and it sits out there for a week or two. So we bring it back, because if they're not going to pick it up, you don't want a car hitting it and scattering all over.
They're willing to do all the labor, and all the city has to do is swing by and pick it up. You know, and I thought, well, you know, somebody should say something. Somebody should get something going.
Mike Stewart and his wife drop food and water off at the camps when they can. And when Cynthia told Mike about the trash issue, he turned to WSAV for help. So we called the city and found out the reason they often don't pick up the trash is because of contamination, mostly from human waste. But Susan Broker, director of the city's citizen office, says they will be going to the camps in the next few days to teach them how to dispose of things properly, a meeting Cynthia feels is a long time coming.
Help us, you know? I mean, we're not hurting anybody. We're keeping it clean, or trying to. Just pick it up.
It's just another day at the park for Derek Chisholm.
Derek can do anything. He can go anywhere.
And will.
So we just let him go. If he needs help, he'll tell us.
You'd never know Derek is blind.
He's just like any other kid.
It all started more than a year ago.
He would drop something on the floor, wouldn't be able to go right back to it and pick it up. If he went through a doorway, he would run into the wall, or he would run into the door.
That's when his mom took Derek to the doctor and then came back to get the news.
He told us that, you know, they found this massive this massive tumor that was sitting on his optic nerve. And so I dropped the phone.
The official diagnosis, optic glioma.
Well, of course, you're thinking, okay, is my child going to die? Is my child going to die? And that's essentially what I thought. But it only lasted like that long, because I went into mommy mode and I'm like, okay, so what's the plan?
What they did is keep going.
He hasn't ever tried to say, well, I can't do this because I'm blind, or I can't do this because I can't see. He hasn't done that.
And he's never stopped.
Derek, not so fast, son.
Playing just like any other kid. Directing the choir at church.
We will be reading Mark the 10th chapter.
Doing a scripture reading. Even playing piano. And hitting the tackling dummy on the football field.
Good job, man.
Good job, son.
Derek's proving that even though he's blind, he still sees the big picture of life. And his family says they have a vision of more miracles in his future.
From the science point of view, because his optic nerve has been damaged, the doctors don't feel like he will regain any sight. But we have that faith that one day he will see again.
And he's got it too.
And he has it too.
Do you think you're going to see again?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think so?
Because I keep trusting in God.
Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3.
I had my surgery. I am now 8 years cancer free. And so now I figure if I can make it through the cancer, I can make it through anything. So I'm going to rappel down this wall. Straighten them out?
Yep, deep knee bend.
There you
Now
go.
without standing up, I want you to straighten your legs. And
Oh shoot, I'm going.
Push your body out that way.
What?
All right. And then can you walk your heels back?
Oh no.
There.
Why did I say I'm doing this?
You're there. You're there. All right, so left hand's going to go onto this handle. You're going to rotate that handle around and point it towards your ear. Keep going just a little further with that handle.
Slowly.
All right.
Slowly.
So take your left hand off and point it out towards the bay that way.
Huh?
Left hand goes off, points towards the bay that way. Right hand goes towards that building over that way.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can do it. Both hands. Nice. Just try and get a balance between barely touching the rope with your right hand.
This rope's heavier than I thought it was.
It is a little heavy.
Okay.
Right, about right there.
Uh-huh.
You want to take little baby steps down the building.
Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fall?
Oh.
Do I need to keep my feet straight out, or my legs straight out?
Yeah, you want
Is that
to keep it
better?
out in front of you, kind of keep you off the wall. There you go. Little baby steps down the building.
Okay guys, here we go. This is for all my survivor sisters!
Little baby steps down the building.
You can do this now. I can do this. Deep breath.
Just a few more feet to go, Crystal. You're doing good.
Is that it?
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Back up. Back up.
Feet first, and the sound of a biker that wouldn't let anything get in his way marked the start of my journey on the obstacle course. Oh, jeez. There was water and a whole lot of mud ahead of me. The next feat wasn't about burning rubber, but rather climbing it. And you know what they say, try again.
Y'all, this mud pit is not a game. Make sure that your shoes are on tightly. You will lose them.
Then we headed to the tunnel challenge, which wasn't as messy but certainly tested my toughness.
Woo, we made it through the tunnels. What's next?
And if you've ever wondered what it was like to walk the plank, imagine that times 5 as runners tried their best to keep their balance with every step.
Okay guys, so we've made it to obstacle 14 and it's definitely one that's gonna test your endurance, but let's see if we can conquer it.
Over or through? Who will make it out first?
Woohoo, we made it!
Courtney Cole, WSAV News 3.
Well, this weekend you will have to look up if you want to see an amazing show.
Yeah, the Beaufort Air Show returns to the Marine Corps Air Station. News 3 photojournalist Brian Watson-Miller got a sneak peek of some World War II era planes, and he takes us for a ride with the Geico Skytypers.
All right, just pull the power back, gears up, successful takeoff. Fantastic, giddy up! They're about a 2-foot wingtip separation. He's probably 10 feet away, but that's pretty far formation right now. Beautiful day in our neighborhood. We're going to do a turning rejoin. You see him up there at about 11 o'clock? Number 3, move out a little bit. Number 2, come on in, cross under, coming to my left side. Bob, you're cleared out of position over to the left side for photos. The secret to good formation in a World War II airplane is very small power movement. Smoke on now. Okay, number 2, I'm going to take the lead. And number 3, you're cleared out to the left. Number 4, you can tuck it in on 2. We're at 400 feet. The show goes down to about 100 feet during the air show. All right, we're going to do that overhead brake that we talked about, Brian. We're going to pull up and over. All right, hold on to your hats. High loop.
It was the first one. It was the first metal airliner, and it had an enclosed cockpit. They had a flight attendant. The transcontinental service that they ran from the East Coast to the West Coast, in 48 hours, it was a combination of trains and planes. This airplane was actually part of that service on the, I believe, the western half. The individual lights in each seat, which is it's interesting to say the least. Simple little tube. You push it in from the inside, and it sticks out here on the outside, and that catches the air for your air vent. It's a little bit of late 1920s, the first of the commercial airlines. We fly 2 of these aircraft throughout the United States, giving people rides. There is no power steering. So you see us flying, especially today is a little windy. We're working, the controls are all cable operated. You can see those on the outside of the airplane. It's a skill too that we all work on and hone, and takes a long time to sharpen up so we can get in something like this, go fly it.